Hi everyone, welcome into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is my co-host, Mr. Paul
Friedlander, from representing the West Pasco Chamber of Commerce, but from Total Title Solutions.
That's right, and thank you for saying that. We have a great show today featuring the West Pasco Chamber of Commerce, raising the awareness on what's going on in the community, what it means to be a member with the West Pasco Chamber of Commerce. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our very first guests. I can't wait to hear all about what these two are doing. The Senior Express, Brandy and Max. And I'm going to let you say your name again because I'm scared.
My last name, right?
Yeah.
Bugajne.
That's such a pretty name.
Polish
I don't know why I can't get that out. So you guys are with Senior Express, and I understand you're a brand new member with the Chamber. Mm-hmm. So tell us what Senior Express is all about.
Senior Express is a wheelchair transportation service. What we're going to be doing is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We will be transporting anyone with any needs to doctor's appointments, to from hospitals to skilled nursing rehabs, from rehabs to assisted living facilities, from assisted living facilities or to home, or from home to doctors, or even as simple as just taking them on an outing to go shopping.
Wow, that's 24/7? Really?
24/7.
Now, is this a fairly new business?
We just did our soft opening on Monday.
Very nice.
Brand new.
And you jumped right in with the West Pasco Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
Yes.
That's fabulous. That's going to really help you guys out a lot.
24/7.
I know.
380 days a year.
That works. There's a lot of people that can use that.
380 days a year.
What did you say? Oh, it went whoop.
And we do
always
have fun
trying
on
to
this
get
show,
me.
man. Just checking to see if you were with us.
I'm with you. I'm with you. He does this
Brandy,
to me all the
your
time.
experience, I know you've been with Life Care, and I know you've been with some of the other facilities. With your experience, what made you decide that, what was the deciding factor that this was a need that was being missed in the community?
Anytime I have a patient on a referral base from the hospital or from another skilled nursing facility, transportation always comes up. Transportation comes up as, transportation always comes up when the patients need dialysis and they're coming to a skilled nursing facility, because unfortunately it's not a covered service under their insurance most of the time.
Okay.
And then it's very costly for them to use other transportation needs, and they don't have families that can transport them to, say, dialysis or doctor's appointments. So a lot of the times I would get phone calls, and families would ask, how am I going to transport my husband from the hospital to here? He's got to be in a wheelchair. I don't have that accessibility. Or you have a dialysis patient that needs to get to dialysis, and I can't take them until they do have a transport. And it's been something that's always ringing in my head when we are looking at patients to come to facilities, or even from the facilities to doctor's appointments or homes.
And how does it, you said that cost-wise, right now you're doing all private pay, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and compared to them, well, obviously if it's a wheelchair they can't, but if it's just, will you transport somebody that just needs to go shopping or go to a doctor appointment?
Absolutely.
How will that compare with using a cab or calling something like that?
Cabs don't always have wheelchair accessibility.
Right.
So if a patient is wheelchair bound where they can't go out with the cab company or Uber even,
right,
they need that wheelchair. So that will help in that aspect.
Because I know in some facilities, my mom is in an independent, but I know that they're limited. They have to call a certain time in advance to be able to use and they have walkers and things like that. So it's not always, you're right, it's not convenient a lot of times.
Right.
So Paul, I just want to interject here. You've been with the West Pasco Chamber of Commerce for how many years?
I was with them for actually been involved with them for 9 years. Personally worked for them for about 3.5 years.
So I want to ask you, have you ever seen any type of a service quite like this with the 24/7? No,
we've worked, I don't even believe we've ever had transportation involved. Normally what you'll see out there is normally the companies that you're familiar with, if you have elderly parents or somebody that's in wheelchairs or somebody needs to get to an appointment. With my dad, there's the standard wheelchair transportation guys, but you still have to be able to find them and get them set up. So no, this is going to be a phenomenal opportunity.
That's what I'm thinking, because it's the first I'm hearing about it. But
and what's really key is it's community related.
Yes.
The other ones are just, they're out there to, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, please don't misunderstand, but
Right.
the other ones are just out there covering a whole bunch of areas. You've got two people here, Brandy specifically, that are very well embedded in the West Pasco community. And as I mentioned, she also has had, what's nice about somebody like Brandy, she's had tons of experience within the skilled as well as the rehab, as well as probably the assisted living. So she knows what the traumas are, which makes her even more of a benefit in this industry.
Exactly, you have the hands-on experience with it.
Absolutely.
And that's really critical, because if you are, I mean, let's face it, I mean, I was the caregiver for my folks, you know what it's like with your mom and all of that. So let's go ahead and toss over to you. Max, pitch in. We want to hear from you too. What part are you playing here?
Well, I'm playing a lot of parts in this position. I'm the marketer and the dispatcher, and sorry.
And the phone call answerer.
The phone call.
Oh, time to
The phone
dispatch.
call answer. Yeah, I'm playing all the roles right now. Getting myself out into this field right now, so I can get familiarize myself with everything. So
Are you new
seeing
to
where the road's
community,
taking me right now.
Are you new to the community?
Yeah, fairly new. Yeah.
Are you? Awesome.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
How'd you guys end up hooking up?
Well, this is actually my future son-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
family business.
Family business.
family owned
yeah.
and operated.
Yeah, nice.
That's great.
That's
great.
even better
And,
yet.
How many multiples on the road at this point? Or one
At
on
this
the
point,
road?
we have one.
One on the road.
Like this week, I've just, when we've opened, we didn't really have anything set up yet. We've got a couple of contracts going with a few of the ALFs.
Awesome.
I've been taking him out to the community and just introducing him to, a lot of the people that I do. He's new to YPG as well, so.
Oh, great.
Yep. So he's getting out there and pushing some stuff and introducing them to ALFs and to some of the doctor's offices. So.
That is so great.
And he's doing a great job.
Well, it's
They're never
really-
marketing before.
I know. I mean, with you doing the marketing and with your background and all, this is definitely a win-win. And it's great that we can have you guys on My Chamber TV,
Absolutely.
because our show airs and continues to air. And then, of course, you can share it on your Facebook and websites and all of that. That you have trained people that will be able to help with your folks, no matter who it may be. So I
Yes.
think this is really fabulous.
It's a truly amazing experience, and good way to get our word out there and everything. So it's great.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
what other specifics, Brandy? I mean, you've been in the industry, you understand. Is there anything else that anybody listening to this really needs to understand and know about what you guys do?
What we're out here to do is help the community and help those elderly people that can't afford, $100, $200 stretcher or wheelchair transportation, and try to have those competitive rates. This is Pasco County, as we know. A lot of the elderly here, they don't have that money. So.
And do you go by need? Do you go by distance? How are your?
We are
prices set?
actually. We're all over Pasco right now.
Okay.
We can go all over Pasco. I have 2 vans. One's just waiting to go. So if we get busy with one van, the next van's going back out too. So, and as much as the need is, and we see the need, we're going to continue to get more vans. And hopefully.
Is pricing based on the size, the length of the trip, the distance of the trip, a mixture
Right
of
now
both?
we're doing $25 per ride, and then it's $250 per mile. So,
Okay.
and which, a lot of places, like we found out today, if you're in Hudson, at a facility in Hudson, you're kind of staying in Hudson to those doctor's offices. So
Right.
that you're maybe only going to pay $250 for that
Right.
extra mile.
Right.
We're also at the point too where if there's a need, then we're willing to work with those people, and when they say, oh, I really can't afford $60 for a ride,
Right.
and we're willing to work with them.
Well, that's great, and it gives you a chance to get your business off the ground.
Absolutely.
And the convenience of having a family member know that you're kind of like in their hip pocket if they can't. A lot of times, family members have to take off work and they lose pay.
Yeah.
And not to mention how long they may have to sit at
Absolutely.
a rehab or whatever.
Or a
it may
doctor's
be.
appointment.
Right.
So referral-wise for you guys, anything that's like skilled or independent that may still have somebody in a wheelchair even though they're independent, assisted living, doctor's offices that have, like you said, dialysis is obviously a big, because they can go there, what, up to 3 times a week?
Three times a week.
Yes.
Yep. And that can get really pricey.
So
I couldn't afford that. So.
no, and knowing you, I'm sure that if they're going 3 times a week, you probably could work something out on a multi
absolutely. Absolutely, to build that relationship with the person and the family so that they'll know and trust us.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. How do we get a hold of you at Senior Express?
Well, you can call Max here at 727-271-9918.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, I think this is really great. So if you may have a family member that needs a ride, go ahead and call these guys. I think you're going to be very pleased. Senior Express. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
We'll be
Awesome,
right back
guys.
after this.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. My co-host is Paul Friedlander.
We're just having fun with our next guest,
always.
man. Our next guests are going to be a blast, so get ready.
Okay, so can you say it?
Can I say
Action Jackson.
Action
If you say it slow, right?
The Action Jackson Team
Foundation.
I'm sorry, the Action Jackson Foundation. And we've got James and Anthony. James is ex-Navy.
Correct.
Anthony is ex-Army.
Correct.
Oh, thank you
Before
for
we
your
even start, retired.
Thank you,
I'm sorry,
thank you for your
retired, and thank you
service.
for your service, gentlemen.
Thank you
before
for
we
having us.
start.
Yes.
And how new is your foundation?
Actually, we started the foundation. Actually, was incorporated in 2016, December
Okay.
2016.
So it's still fairly, it's been a year, but fairly new, and I take it you guys are just, now that you're part of the chamber, you're starting to ramp up and get out in the community and let everybody know that you're out there. So we're going to turn it over to you guys. Tell us what it's all about, guys.
Okay. Basically, the Action Jackson Foundation was something that I pretty much started in my head. While serving on active duty, I became on some hard times before, and I actually became homeless while on active duty. So during that time frame was actually a low time frame of my life, so I really didn't have any resources to return to, because a lot of it had to do with pride. I didn't want my chain of command to know exactly what was going on. So once I got back on my feet, I set out of my mind that I didn't want to go out through the day and not helping anyone else that was going through some of the similar situations that I was going through. So once I retired from the military, I actually ran across a veteran at the Veterans Affairs Hospital. And I was just sitting there talking with him, had lunch with him, and he actually got the ball spinning because he was actually going through some things in nature. And so I just wanted to help him out, and that's how it actually came about going with the Action Jackson Foundation.
That's a beautiful story.
And I just out of curiosity, I know this, hopefully this is a good question, but out of curiosity, while you're active duty, how do you end up, how does an active duty military person become homeless?
Well, basically at the time I was actually going through a personal matter, a divorce at the time.
Okay.
And so basically during that time frame, you know, there's actually resources out there that you can actually use, but like I said earlier, pride, I didn't want my chain of command, I didn't want my extra soldiers who I was actually in charge of at the time to actually look at me and say, okay, well, he's weak or he's failing and things of that age, because they was actually looking for me for guidance. So at that time frame, I was actually living out of my car, taking showers in the gym, and you know, going to work like nothing was going on.
That is awesome, and based on that comment, it's probably safe to assume that there's probably others, again, prideful. You guys are serving. If you've got a command, you don't, you know, it's just human nature. So there's probably others, like you said, that go. You know, you wouldn't think of active duty as being homeless. You know, unfortunately, a lot of them that come home are, because they have some challenges and things.
Absolutely.
And what about yourself, James? What's your background?
So I'm retired Navy. You know, I've always kind of been that guy to help others. One of the units I was a part of down in Tampa, we did a lot of humanitarian aid, disaster relief. So just helping people out is kind of one of our jobs. It became second nature. And I met this guy December 2016, and he started telling me about his ideas, and I was like, man, I love that. That's what I do. And I have a personal love for kids. I truly believe the kids are our future.
Right.
You know, they're our next leaders.
Yes.
So if we can impact these kids now while they're in school, and they can carry that into their next generation, they're going to take what we give them, that mentorship, and they're going to make changes that will make our country better later. So whatever we can do for kids, that's
And
what
do
we
you
can
have children of your own?
I have 4, yes.
How old are they?
16, 15, 14, and 14.
Oh, yay, lucky you, all
Yes.
teenagers.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So how do you go out talking to the kids in the schools and things like that? How are you bringing them to see what you're doing, see what your mission is, to make that difference?
Okay, so basically, we have partnership with various schools throughout the county and other counties in the state of Florida. Basically, a lot of the contacts come through the ROTC department because it's a military background. Oh. So with our projects, we actually welcome more kids to come out because we want them to see that other avenue versus having everything given to them. You know, a lot of these kids really don't know how rough it is out there in the world. So we actually welcome more kids to come out to our events so they can actually see what one bad decision or one life decision can actually have you living as homeless or something like that. So we actually get a lot of the kids out there through word of mouth and also through actually the school board system.
That's fabulous.
You know, one of the beautiful things about being able to go out and talk to the kids is that they see first men of action, men of the community.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest, here in West Pasco, we kind of have a history of our kids graduate and they leave, they're gone. Some of them will never come back. But here's an opportunity now for kids already in school that's living here to give back in the community, and they know what it's like, they see it for themselves, they know they can do it, and then hopefully in the future they want to come back home.
Yes.
They want to give back in the community and uplift it instead of just leaving it bare. So we've had a tremendous response to the kids that have come out. I'm very proud of one of our girls. She was in 4th grade. She came out to help us do a feeding here at Hudson. She went back to school that week. She wrote an essay about it, and she challenged everyone in her school to feed the homeless or give to the Action Jackson Foundation. So in return, it builds on itself, and it works. So
Lead by example.
absolutely.
And you're teaching those to lead in the younger generation, and we so need that. And Paul, you know yourself it is working because you've been involved with the Chamber for all those years, and you see it, and I see it from our interviews here on My Chamber
and work
TV.
with a couple of the other agencies,
Yes.
like Pasco Kids First, and you said it, we had, I guess last year, Adalia, our granddaughter, raised almost $900 for Pasco Kids
you go.
First and collected clothes. So you're right, it's important to know that it's not about age. It's about your heart.
Absolutely.
About going back. Talk to us briefly about some of your programs. I know you go into the schools, but do you have specific programs and things like that you all do?
Basically what we do, we actually provide veteran services. What I mean by veteran services is that you have a lot of individuals who actually get out of the military, and they have no set guidance in reference to what benefits are out there for them. Yes. There's a lot out there, but they just don't know what avenue to actually go towards getting those. So we actually do that as well. And also we are we're in the process of now developing counseling, and also mental health, drug awareness, and what else are we doing?
With drug and alcohol rehabilitation, one of the things that we've noticed, I mean, we actually go into the woods and we talk to these guys. We see what their problems are. A lot of times, they don't necessarily want the handout. They want that personal connection. And that's what we try to develop with them. We try to really, truly understand why they're there, what happened. We've met several Gulf War vets, and we hear all the stories. Yeah. So we know that we're talking to the right people. But after a recent feeding here in Hudson, I asked one of the guys, what can we provide? What can we do? And he says, man, everyone out here is on drugs. And so, drug and alcohol rehabilitation is going to be one of those services that we'd like to provide to the homeless veterans especially. Of course, counseling for the mental health counseling, because a lot of veterans come back, it's PTSD. The reintegration into regular society isn't as easy as people think, especially when you live in a world that's in the Middle East or wherever that may be.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
And then, of course, being able to repatriatize these guys, these veterans, back into society, because they want to work, they want to give back. I mean, it's in our nature. That's what we do. We sign a contract for the country, if you will. Yes. And so they would love to be able to help the community. And a lot of them want to do it. They just don't know how. So we're trying to be that bridge, get them back integrated and help.
Guys, you guys have a foundation. So obviously, monetarily, people could help you. But if they can't help monetarily, where else can people in our community, what else can people in our community do to help you guys?
They can come out and volunteer their services that way. We're looking for more help in the community to actually come out and volunteer, because 2 people can't do it, 3 people can't do it. It's going to take a collective unit to actually make a change
community,
here.
I guess, so to speak. And when you say volunteer, in what type of roles, what type of capacities do you need?
So,
do you need help?
For instance, in one of our last feeding that we did in downtown Tampa, it was mainly just setting up the food and setting up trays. Okay. We received from one of our sponsors generous donation of food and huge trays, and it was just a matter of putting them all together so we could go around the city and give them away. So between that and setting up, it's still small things that really help us out.
Small things that turn out to be big things. You guys are pretty darn awesome.
Yes,
you are
they
like 2 supermen. You really are. This is really wonderful. And how long were each of you in the service?
I did 20 years.
22 years.
God bless you.
I know, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Really, God bless you.
Thank you.
To take your lives to give back to the community and our kids. When you say going into the woods to to meet these homeless people. There are children living in the woods.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are.
Yes,
Quite a few.
especially in Pasco.
You got to take over. I've just lost it. Here we have some events that are coming up on May 12th.
Going to be in Jacksonville for Operation
Ooh.
Curbside Consumption. And what is actually Operation? Is that the feeding?
Yes,
Okay.
monthly we do our curbside consumption. That's our actually monthly feeding events. We do that monthly. And then we also have a couple major events that we do throughout the year during the holidays.
And
as
you
well.
move, based on those, you move around the state then?
Absolutely.
All through the state of
awesome.
Florida.
Guys, anything that, obviously we'll make sure that this video gets out there, you have an opportunity, but like Barb said, I mean, 22 years, that's absolutely phenomenal. I was going to ask you if you guys met in the gym, but...
Or in the police force, or FBI, or CIA.
but that's good hearts. And do you have a board and things like that for your foundation already? Everything in place?
Yes, we do, sir.
Okay, so anything that, like, again, anything the community can do. I know a lot of times, I always tell people, I said, volunteering, I know when you say the word volunteer, people think they mean work, but if you're a business person or just a person in general, volunteering's not work. Volunteering's getting your face out in the community.
Absolutely.
Volunteering helps your business. It helps you personally. It's
Absolutely.
not, and I don't mean that in a selfish manner, but I try to remind business people, but when somebody asks you to volunteer, don't look at that as, oh my God, I got to do more work. No, that's actually work for your work and for yourself as a person.
We recently, again, we was in downtown Tampa, and we were handing out food and such, and it may seem like work, but it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then when we stopped at one point and we looked around this park, and everybody that was in the park had a tray of food and they were eating, and it was an instant reward.
Yeah.
I mean, you truly feel good about watching everybody actually come up for just those few minutes, and it's well worth it. So please volunteer, come out, get in touch with us.
And a quick caveat to that is reference to volunteering. Another thing we really emphasize on is getting into schools and teaching the kids the effect of bullying and stopping bullying and things of that nature. So we actually get out there and we talk to the kids in reference to the effects of bullying and what it causes, and things, and all the negative impact that comes about with bullying. So when the volunteers come out, we love to have our military brothers and sisters to come out as well, to volunteer, those who've actually served, no matter how many years you've served, to come out and talk with these kids and let them know in reference to how bullying affects other kids and the actual scars, the lifetime scars that it actually can cause.
You guys have a website that people can find out the opportunities to...
Yes, our website is www.theajf.org.
Thank you so much. You guys are truly awesome. Good luck to you. I can't believe we haven't heard until now about you. We're going to get you back on the show. I've got some ideas for you
Absolutely.
to raise continued awareness, because
ma'am.
I'm on top of that whole bullying thing.
I know that's right.
We got to, oh my God. God bless both of you.
Thank you.
you for your
Thank you.
services.
Thank you for having us.
Anything we can do for you, let us know, please.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Definitely.
Get a hold of these guys. Volunteer. Let's help our vets. They're fighting for our freedom.
That's right.
Thanks for being there. We'll see you right back after this.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
And welcome back in, everyone. With My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of our community, we're featuring the West Pasco Chamber of Commerce. I'm Barbara Marvel, and with me is Mr. Paul
Friedlander, with, again, representing the West Pasco Chamber with Total Title Solutions. And we've got a really, really good buddy on today.
Yes, we do.
Lisa Campos. I've known Lisa for many, many moons. In a lot of places with the West Pasco Chamber, she serves 2 purposes because she represents marketing for her husband's San Francis Veterinary Hospital, but she also is the CEO director for Investigation Station, and that's what we're here to talk about today because she's got a super awesome event coming up that I have promised her I would be ready to MC for her. So we're working on that right now. But Miss Lisa, talk to us about Investigation Station. This has been in your heart for a long time and you work real hard at it.
Yes, sir, I do. Investigation Station is the traveling children's museum, and we bring interactive exhibits to kids, and we create exhibits in the community for people to visit on their own for free of charge. We have a 1-mile scaled model of the solar system.
Awesome.
It's located in Starkey Wilderness Park on the bicycle trail. If you park at shelter number 5, that's the big key. You have to park at shelter number 5, take the footpath out to the bicycle trail, and right there is the sun, and a mile later you're at Pluto.
To scale.
Yes.
So there's that much difference.
Yeah.
And talk just real quick, tell them what's on like the back of the signs. This is really cool. We took our granddaughter out there. It's really, really neat.
Yes, on the front of each sign is beautiful artwork that was created by Gordon Engebretson, who is a local artist out of Land O'Lakes. And on the back side are fun facts that we got from NASA. And bring your calculator because you can figure out your age and your weight on all of the solar bodies.
Wow, that is fun.
So there's like one where you'd only weigh 2 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. We're going to send you that planet. You and me.
You and me, right. That is exciting. How long have you been doing this now?
Oh, I started Investigation Station in 2005.
Really?
Yes. And so, you know, little by little, slowly, we get our projects accomplished. We also have a STEM exhibit that travels around the Pasco County Library system. It consists of hundreds and hundreds of little wooden planks and construction ideas and a catapult and a wrecking ball so that the kids can build amazing design features and then knock them all down. And right now, we're raising funds to build our biggest exhibit yet. It's going to be an educational splash pad featuring the water cycle, and it will be located at the Veterans Memorial Park in Hudson.
Wow.
Yes.
You are really a motivating individual, aren't you? Where do you come up with all these things?
Oh, I know. Well, there are lots of people in the community who say, hey, Lisa, we need such and such. And can you help us? And so I see what kind of interactive educational role we can bring out from it, and then we run with it.
That is so exciting.
We raise funds and we find businesses, local businesses, to get the job done. For instance, from the Sun to Pluto exhibit in Starkey Park, there was a kit that is sold. It costs $100,000 for this kit. And I said, well, we're going to do this Pasco style. And we're going to find local people who will help contribute to this project. And so we're taking that same idea and we've applied it to our splash pad, and we're recruiting local businesses who do plumbing and fencing and
concrete,
boring and concrete and rubberized flooring to get the whole project done.
So you're going to create your own kit. You're going to personalize, custom, contract it out.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Love it. Love
So on April 28th, we're holding our 3rd annual Pot of Gold
Pot of Gold
relay race.
Yes.
Yes. This year, we've partnered with Pasco Middle School because Pasco needs some help raising funds for their athletics department. So we've partnered with them, and we're holding the event at Ridgewood High School because middle schools don't have bleachers for whatever reason. So, but we need bleachers for the folks to sit while they're waiting to have their turn, because this relay race is not like your ordinary relay race. This is not, you know, passing the baton from one person to the other on the track. Each team is made up of 4 people, and each person on the team is responsible for completing an activity such as stacking golf balls on top of one another, or assembling a jigsaw puzzle, or putting on surgery garb. And then once the judge says, okay, you've completed your task correctly, here's a gold coin, they run it to the bucket on the other side of the field, and they run back and they tag their teammate, who then does the next activity.
It's fun.
It is lots of fun. And the team that finishes first, you know, wins medals. And we have heats for all kinds of groups. We have heats for local heroes, high school students, special needs, families, adults, businesses. It's a lot of fun. And the best part is that we have so many businesses that contribute to our race that it doesn't cost anything to come out and participate. We just need people who want to come out and have fun. Some good family bonding or good team building for businesses. It's great for the high schoolers. They have a blast coming out to compete, you know, one school against another.
And businesses can get involved for as little as $100, and that is 4 teams?
$100 supports 4 teams.
Supports 4 teams.
Wow, that's
So,
pretty good.
If you want to come out as a business and participate, you can do that. And if you don't have the, you know, well, I can't do it, I don't have the staff, or I don't know the people, that's fine. Be a supporter at $100 and help 4 other groups that do have kids or adults or families that do want to come out and participate.
Sounds good.
Exactly.
That sounds really good. I mean, you really have a lot of fun. I mean, it's fun.
Oh, it's a blast. It's almost like a minute to win it
I guess.
relay race, because like she said, stacking golf balls, the jigsaw puzzle, usually the last piece is getting dressed in surgical garb and then running, which is always a hoot. And then was it cups?
We have cup stacking.
Yeah.
We're meeting next week to
maybe
consider
mix it up a little
which activities we're going to have folks do this year.
That has to be fun too, planning, right?
It is
I mean,
a
you're
lot of
just
fun.
you're just grinning ear to ear constantly. That is so great. Well, we have a couple of minutes remaining. Let's talk about how they can get a hold of you and what they need to do to get involved.
Okay. Well, we have a website, potofgoldrelay.com. And that takes you directly to the page that has all of the forms if you want to be a corporate sponsor or if you want to be a vendor. We have a vendor fair that goes on, and spaces are only $25 to come out for the morning. And if you're a nonprofit, it's free. And there is a registration form there, and you just send in your name, the name of your team and the name of the people on your team, and you're good to go. We'll see you on the 28th at 9 a.m. at Ridgewood High School. And so just go to potofgoldrelay.com.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And it goes all day?
No.
Just in the morning.
Just in the morning.
You get there at 9. I think it starts at 10, and you're out of there usually about noon or 12:30. So it's
fun.
It's a nice family day where you're not taking. You can still have time to go to the beach. You can still have time to go out on your boat. You can still have time to work in your yard. Whatever gets you excited on a Saturday, you'll still have plenty of time to do that and still come out and support the Pot of Gold relay race, which is just this splash pad's going to be awesome. Anybody that knows that part of the community up at in Veterans Park, it's a demographically, it's a little lower income, and not just a splash pad. It's not just where they can go and run and get wet, but a splash pad where it's actually educational, which is phenomenal.
See,
we
I
appreciate
love that. And people are always looking for things to do, and this really does have purpose. Education, you can never get enough education, but when you pack it with lots of fun and excitement and a little bit of competition here and there.
Yes.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much. It's so good to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's always a pleasure to see you
Good
guys.
to have you guys.
All right. Well, good luck. Have more fun. I can't wait to have you come back and see what the next project's going to be with Investigation Station. Stay right where you are. We're going to take a brief time out, and we will be back more right here on My Chamber TV.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Ready? Here we go.
And here we are, back with My Chamber TV. Barbara Marville and Paul Friedlander.
You're welcome, 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 guys.
And we have Mr. Matt Barnes with Loyalty Wash. And you're fairly new business, sort of, kind of, right?
Yeah, this is something that that I opened beginning of last year, and always been a car enthusiast, so it was very, very comfortable to get into.
So where do we go to get our cars cleaned at Loyalty Wash?
We are 100% mobile, and it's a huge convenience factor. So whether it's cars, trucks, SUVs, or boats or airplanes, we are showing up at your convenience. We do show up at your work, house, wherever's convenient for you guys.
Nice. That's very nice.
And a lot of times, I know from in the past, a lot of times the work environment's very convenient for you because normally that'll end up being multiple people in the same office.
That's right. That's
So-
right. Obviously, if we can do more things at one
Yeah.
stop, it's much more.
But
feasible.
you do come out to the house
Yes.
and complete detail, cars. You said boats. I know we were talking about boats just before we
We
came
do
back on
probably
the air.
60% of my business right now is boats.
Is it?
On the marine side.
Really? Huh. Yeah, because you were mentioning about needing comfortable shoes because you were on the boats
Wearing
all
them
day.
out all day long.
So
Yeah.
that's very cool.
Now with boats, are those dry docked or both in water and out? Or?
That's a very good question. So we will do boats whether in the water, on a lift, on a trailer, it doesn't matter. We have the equipment, and the manpower to do it.
Do you? Now, with boat in the water, and this is probably really a silly question, but will you just do what is above the water? Do you guys actually go in the water and do barnacle cleaning and stuff, or not?
We do not do boat bottoms.
I just wanted to check.
We do water up if they're in the water.
Gotcha.
And that's from rub rail down to the water.
Gotcha. And I figured, but I thought, let's ask and see. Maybe
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so that means that everything that can be done water up would be done. So if it needs buffed or compounded,
Nice.
waxed, machine polished, whatever that is, we can still do it even though it's in the water.
And just to not being a boat owner, but when it's a large boat, it's got let's say it's got a stateroom or it's just got a down. What are you actually? Are you guys doing just everything that's fiberglass? Are you doing the seats, the carpet, the whole 9 yards? How do you go about
That all boils down to the customer's preference.
Gotcha.
We come equipped to do anything that the customer needs.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, so interior cabins are not preferred by customers very often,
Right.
but we can do it.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
it's like full service. That
What got you
absolutely
into
is.
this? And you said your love of cars, but
That's where I was going to go with that too.
Where'd your
Yeah.
business plan bring you to this? What was it about this industry?
So my love for detailing, and there's a lot more to go into a detail than just cleaning a car. So detailing a car is all about knowing your waxes and how the heat breaks them down, and your different finishes and knowing your products. So, and that just comes with hundreds and hundreds of details in and out, seeing the results and knowing what lasts and for how long. So knowing your products becomes huge, but it's an interest in mine. Knowing how to buff out just certain paints and gel coats or clear coats.
And I'm sure car enthusiasts, some of them that are doing shows and stuff, you probably work interior, even engine-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's got to be a whole skill set in and of itself.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we do it all. We do engine cleaning, interior. Sometimes I'll show up and just do a quick shampoo.
Right.
How about that?
Right.
So I never would have given it any thought. I would just, is this a girl thing or what? But I just figured wax is wax, but not necessarily, right?
That's right.
Ah.
And I just took a little sneak peek over there. Talk to us about the restoration part of your business. I saw that come up.
Yeah, absolutely. So just as a quick example,
Please.
we recently did a 50-foot Shannon, which is a custom sailboat. And we took it had paint over some of the teak, which is the beautiful, elegant wood in some of your nicer sailboats.
Yep.
And it had been painted over, and we were able to sand all that out and re-oil it, and detail it. So brought it all back, restored the boat. Looks beautiful. We do car restorations, boat restorations, whole 9 yards.
Wow.
Wait, is that it?
Yeah, that's
Look at that.
That's mid progress right there.
And that's not a quick turnaround, one day
That-
job.
I was
either,
thinking
is
the
it?
same
That's
thing.
a 4-man crew, 4 days long, right
4
there.
days long. Jeez.
Yeah.
So you obviously have the crew to be able to fulfill your customers' wishes there.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And sometimes I'll pull in a crew from different areas. I have 2 crews that are full-time in Jacksonville as well. So sometimes when I get a job mid-state that's a larger job, we can pull together, deploy the manpower necessary to do the job.
How are you getting the name out there, Matt? How are they knowing where you're all about?
You know, it's one of the reasons why I joined the chamber. I've been a member of chamber in the past, and it's worked out really well. And I just feel like now is a good point in my business to kind of switch gears and network as opposed to people in the community.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
For them to get to know you also. I was going to ask you, with price-wise, depending on the car, what the person wants, the usual.
That's right.
When it comes to
it all
detailing?
depends on what the customer wants.
Depending how dirty it is.
What package they want. That's exactly right. But I can't emphasize this enough. If they go to Loyalty Wash and Detail on our Facebook page, that's the spot where we interact with our customers the most.
Oh, that's nice.
So I have a very easy layout of our pricing on there, all the additional services. So anything a customer would wonder about what we have to offer is there.
Gotcha.
That's my buzzer.
Is that yours? Yeah, I was hoping it wasn't mine. But
Yeah. I had a
actually,
question.
I'm getting a massage while we're sitting here. It's my TENS unit.
There you go. I have a question for you when we're talking about the waxes and everything. Okay, so my BMW, it has a nice little paint job on it. So you'd have to use something really special for that, I'm guessing. Or maybe not.
Well, not necessarily.
No?
Sometimes you can look at your beautiful finish on your BMW, and but as you start walking around it, you may see, I don't know, sometimes you notice at a certain angle you can see the sunspot, the reflection of the sun right there.
Yes.
And as you look at that, you can see a bunch of like swirl marks. Maybe you've just not been paying attention and went to one of the little quick car washes or something like that and got some nasty swirl marks in there. But if that's the case, we can buff those out and then put a wax protectant on it to cover that up and fix the problem.
I know.
Instead of putting a Band-Aid on it.
I'm glad to hear you say that. It's been many, many years since I had my car through a car wash, but I know exactly what you're talking about. That's one of the reasons why I stopped.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what kind of tips can you give our viewers out there about, like, I'm asking you for little tips here. What could you tell people about maintaining, once they pay you to come out and do a professional job and everything, what could they do aside to maintain, in between?
That's a great question. We have maintenance packages that are very affordable, and I would suggest a person get on a monthly service with us, and that enables them to get discounts on certain services that they may need, like periodic, say every other month they might need a good wax coat or machine polish or something like that. But we work with them in those maintenance packages to make sure everything's upkept.
That's really a good point, because it's just like anything else, maintenance, right?
That's it.
Keep up with the maintenance of the look of your car, right?
That's right.
And it will serve you a whole lot better.
Yeah, and if you let things get out of control, it can get more expensive. So in the long run, it's much more feasible for a customer to just get on board with our maintenance package and let us maintain that vehicle.
And you talked about monthly maintenance, and I think that's wonderful that you have a program for that. If you come out and detail somebody's car, and let's say, no, we'd rather just have you. Do most people detail once a month? Is something, when you come out and detail, is that good for a couple of months? Is there a rhyme or reason, or does it depend on the weather? What's it depend on?
It's a lot of preference. I would suggest a monthly, and I think that's the most popular choice of our packages.
And I'm sure, does it have to do also whether they keep it garaged or not garaged too?
Yeah, it does. But there again, on the commute back and forth to work or wherever they might be out and about at, it just depends on what's happening. Love bug season, XYZ.
Between the love bugs and the pollen.
Pollen's horrible.
My word.
And you've got somebody with a little bit older car, you take care of those headlights?
Yes, absolutely. And once again, on our Facebook page, under the Services tab,
Yes.
that will list all of the extra services that one could want, a car owner could want or need for their vehicle.
Oh, this is great. This is great. Just going to your website is going to be a wealth of information.
It really is.
Or excuse me, your Facebook page. This is really great. Loyalty Wash. You want to call Mr. Matt Barnes and get hooked up. See what he can
And
do
if you
for
just saw that, you can do that if you live in Florida,
Exactly.
Georgia, or Alabama.
Exactly. We got to go. Thanks for joining us.